Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Mac Jones, part 4. You asked for it. You got it. A later in the season game. Let's get it going. Bama, Arkansas. Here we go. Welcome to the QB School. The idea for this video came from Lone Word Egg Corn. Please cover some of the later games where the offense was more complex and applicable to the NFL. After seeing how well Jones processed earlier in the season, Sark added a lot more complexity. Did he? All right, I'm interested. Let's check it out. Mac Jones, part 4. Let's get it. 4th and 4, right out the gate. Cool little empty thing here, a little double spot. Versus drop 8, 33 double cloud. Sky Mail, a little swing route. Nothing there. Not a lot open coach. But this one is one of those, I don't know if pet peeve is the right word, minor pet peeve. Don't love seeing guys be put in dangerous spots here. And what I mean by that is when you go to throw this type of route into any sort of rolled up corner. So right here, this is, to me, we're going to call this 33 double cloud. Could be a variation of Tampa 2 too, but we got 3 deep. We've got 5 under. There's not a lot of space to throw the ball. Now, the good thing here, when you get this, is really they're only rushing 3. So you got all day to throw this thing, and they end up playing this a bunch this game and obviously smoke them later in the game. But this is 3-3 here, bottom of the second inning, and we got a chance here to actually learn something. So scheme-wise here, I think they end up running double spot. To me, it doesn't matter who it is. It's in here like this, in here like this. One of these guys usually comes up and runs a corner, and then we get this swing. It's just a variation of spot. I think on the backside, they run like a slant or glance here. It actually runs around that corner. It's not there. Nothing there. The only thing that's going to be there is if you have enough time to find one of these spot routes kind of in space. But what you hate to see, or personally I hate to see, is anything that could potentially be a shot. So maybe this is a potential throwaway kind of on purpose, but you're not really going to throw away a 4th down. I think he just misses this thing. But again, this is a danger kill shot for me. 24 down here. Now the ball's way over his head into the first row. But scheme-wise, you can tell it's the 1 and the 2 receivers down here running the double spot. They're the ones that are going to have to find some space. And because you only are rushing 3, you got a little bit of time. This is just one of those ones for me, throwing on the film late in the season, looking to see NFL-type offenses with, precision processing from the pocket. This is not it. Right? 4th and 4. So it is what it is. Play at full time speed again. Potentially you could work up top if you like the matchup, but when he goes outside, it's dead. You just got to hope one of those spot routes finds some space, and it doesn't. Would love to see him right here kind of be a little creative in the pocket as opposed to that throw on a 4th and whatever. Got to give your guy a shot on 4th down. Next one here. Love me a little switch release down here at the bottom of the screen. Now this is where you start getting into the fine details as far as, this looks like a great read, great check down. And I think it probably is. But for me, I'm also going to point out some Sunday windows. And what I mean by that is there's opportunities for throws down the field. Now, who knows what they're asking him to do in their meeting room, in their quarterback room. But again, I love how they get there. This Alabama offense is all about horizontal stretching you everywhere with the speed that they got. And then they come down here, and I want to say it's this, up into the post, and just a variation of like double post. Then they end up getting the check down to here. Now, to me, right here, I've already said how much I love these switch releases like this. But when you get into this switch release world, so whoever goes first, up and through, you usually read that one first, up, second window here, and then you usually have some check down, and it's just a fancy high-low is what it is. And usually the read, it's going to be tough anytime you have these 3 deep players immediately, right? Because you're only running 2 people deep. You don't need to be a math savant for that. But this read is really off right here. And this window is tight, but this is an NFL touchdown throw window. So we'll just look to see exactly what it looks like. Could he have done it if they're asking him to make these tight windows? I'm not sure that they are at this level, but on Sundays they will. So you can see that middle field player, when he turns his hips right there, baseball turns right there, that ball potentially could go at the top of the A for a touchdown to 8 on the post. So again, what it times out with the quarterback footwork, right there, he's at the back of it. You're reading that middle field player. As soon as he turns right there, I'm going to let that go. Now, I could see why you say, that's just too tight, it's too muddy, check it down. All right, let's check it down. Then it's a great read. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great processing. That's exactly what the output of what you hear from a lot of people when they say, oh, he processes so quickly. Okay, yes. The check down's wide ass open. And that's a touchdown throw. See when one turns his back in the middle of the screen? When one turns his back right there, that ball gets up and down in the middle of the A. You drive that thing like a laser. That's a touchdown. That's open in the league. Now I get it. This isn't the league. Thanks for the news flash. But if it is muddy, let's just check it down. 1, 2, there it is. Boom, check it down. I will say, for my money, and I'm a big fan of the lower half of quarterback play, he gets a little toesy and a little off base pretty consistently, especially in these play action. This is heel clicky, right? I mean, that's the definition of heel click. It's tough to come up and rip that post throw when you're not in a perfect base right there to throw that ball. If you're reading that thing across the board here, this is 1, this is 2. And again, I'm not in the quarterback room, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably the read. 1, 2, right here off this guy. When he turns to run like that, I'm putting that thing right there. High, back 5, driven as hard as I can. All right, you're being really nitpicky. Okay, great. Let's get a check down. Move on. Okay, they're neither are right and neither are wrong. I think actually the check down's right, but the touchdown potentially could have been there. Again, check out the design here. Horizontal stretch both ways. Whoop whoop. I love this play action that they do. They got some dudes up front, no doubt about it. They got dudes everywhere. But big 6'5" coming out. Who's going to rush the passer? Look at that space to throw. And I'm going to guess is a post read, meaning that if you can take the post, you can take the post. Otherwise, you set it down, usually 18 to 20 yards. Now, again, we talked about it already, but horizontal stretch. Watch what it does to the underneath linebackers. The middle of the 3. So he gets distorted and runs with that fake jet. Sees the guard pull, runs. 27. When he runs, one guy out of a drop 8 coverage, one guy gets distorted. You're playing zone coverage, and that's the kind of space created. No one around him, 5 yards. And that's what it is. That's that horizontal stretch everywhere in football right now. Jet sweep fake, play action fake, big shot, still massive chunk play, and you're playing 3 deep safety. Pseudo prevent. See what it does? 27, he kind of runs out of his area, can't get back to his landmark, and that's just too much space. But quarterback-wise, it's a great throw, right? Up and over. Again, to me, toesy, heel click, he's got to move a little bit because big 6'5", the tank is right in his way. But again, just for my consistency, if we're talking just lower half mechanics, toesy. Now he's able to get it on and drive it there. It's a beautifully designed play, nice quarterback execution, shows the arm strength to drive it downfield. Lots of good stuff. This is a 3rd and 3. I love the offensive architecture here. We're going to get what I'm going to call a bullets concept down here to the bottom with a tunnel screen. Now the pick here could get a little bit more rear out from 87 right here. When he comes out, little pick, boop, put it right on him. Probably not the accuracy you're looking for, but it's good enough. And I love the little double shift. So they shift the tight end out, they shift the back over, catch it, put it right on him, all your cleats in the ground, get a free runner running right at your face, watch the back cleat, boom, all his cleats in the ground. Now, it's a great catch, one-handed catch from 4. Not the perfect ball location by any means, but it's nice execution. And when I'm talking offensive architecture, I'm talking how they get here, right? So shift, out, shift, back. Now, with what I'm used to calling bullets. I don't know what it's called everywhere else. It's basically a glorified wheel from the background, except you can put it on him anywhere. So you can put it on him here, you can put it on him here, you can put it on him down the field. And if that isn't there, not only is that the bullets route, so that's the bullets route, and it's usually paired with a pick or like a little spot route in here. You can see he kind of like almost slows his release to kind of see who's coming over to get that pick or rub. And if this isn't there on this bullets, it's usually 1 to 2. But right here, I'm going to guess if you don't have this little quick route to the back here, then you come back here and throw the tunnel up top. They do a nice job blocking this tunnel. They get pretty creative on their perimeter blocking pattern. So I think it's MDM and then fold, and it'd be a really nice opportunity. So if it wasn't there, so if you came back here and say the defensive end peels, or whoever this is peels off and doesn't rush, or everybody jumps the back, then you just come back and flip the tunnel screen. So love the design here concept wise. I think everything gets a first down. Love seeing plays like that. Yeah, so if 7 were to peel and cover the back here, just come up, flip the tunnel up top. Nice. Just like seeing quarterbacks execute in the face of pressure, be able to get their cleats in the ground, make a throw, even though it doesn't have to be perfect, because it certainly isn't, but it's good enough. Good enough is good enough. Love it. Another one here, 1st and 10, ball's on the 28. This to me is just a dagger up top, and for some reason, now I know it's the best player in college football, he gets hung onto there, but that in is open. And again, this probably goes down as one of those things where, man, he's such a great processor. And I'm not taking anything away from the fact that he probably is. But for me here, this is almost like over-processing. And what I mean by that is this will go down as, yeah, you're throwing it to the number 3 read probably, or number 4 read, because this is, to me, just a variation of dagger. So you come up here, and this is like a clear post or post, depending on what system you're in, you can play this thing 1, and then this dagger is usually 2, or it's like an alert here, and this is usually 1. Either way, he's certainly looking to get the post here. But this in, I'm going to almost guarantee is the second route. Put a lot of money on that. And then you usually have, again, a high-low check down and the back right here. So if I had to guess, it would be alert, 1, 2 to the check downs. Well, to me, he just skips 1. He does. Now, this is a veteran move. This is like to me, this is kind of like a 10-year NFL vet preseason move. You're going to lock on your guy. 4 dudes are covering your guy. I don't trust the other guy, so I'm just going to throw it to my other buddy who plays running back. I'm not saying he does that here, but you can certainly see the in, right? There's 5 people running to Smith. 6 people. The in's one-on-one. So again, the processing thing is a funny thing to kind of unpack. Footwork wise, let's take a peek. That's heel clicky right there. It just is. To me, this thing should be fake. Back of the drop, throw the in right there. Rip it. Put it right on inside the top hash. No. Now it gets it to the check down. But again, they're only rushing 3. They're dropping 8. You got all day to do it. The back certainly isn't in a hurry to get to the check down. Check this path out. La, 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 la. Okay, yeah. It's like a glorified screen. So just trying to pull apart the layers as far as what does it mean to get through some of these things. Is that getting through a read, or is that going 1 to check down or alert to check down? To me, that's not really getting through a read. That's jumping from 1 to check down. Next one here, this is a great throw, the way he gets to this thing. This is a 1, 2, 3. Now again, who knows what the read is. This thing almost plays out like old school sluggo seam, where he goes left to seam to whatever's on the right. This is look at him go 1, no, seam, no, outside, yes. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, you can play for me right there. That's a hell of a catch. It's terrible corner play by 7. But this is double moves on double moves. So for me, when I say it plays out like old school sluggo seam, I should probably just do a video on sluggo seam, but nobody runs it anymore. It's sluggo, seam, and then they usually have like a converted pivot out here that can convert. So it plays out almost like a double move with double go. This play is old school down, out, and up, seam, down, down, and up. And he goes here, footwork wise, with his head. 1, 2, 3, hole shot right here. Thing of beauty. The corner up top on this bunch gets distorted. FIB, bunch into the boundary. He ends up playing too much of the vertical of number 2 with that seam and leaves this hole over by the side. Now, this is a nice throw. This is probably my favorite throw of the game. Jones-wise here, love the fact that he's able to get through this and drive it down the field. Again, drop 8, rush 3. You know, not exactly where he wants it, but still pretty nice throw. Quick little subtle movement in the pocket. One more time all the way through and see him go no down here to the bottom to the first double move. No, no to the seam. Yes up top. That's processing. But again, Arkansas, help us out, man. Give me something different than drop 8, 33 double cloud. Corner loses his mind. Still gets smacked. Big time catch. Next one here. It's a nice one. Little 2x2. This is another 10-year vet move. This is almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me. This is getting through reads super easy. This looks like a 7-on-7 tournament. 1, 2, 3. No, no, yes. Too easy. A little short in. Now again, without knowing what the book is, what the read is, I can tell you that almost certainly it's going to be start down here and we're going to go post, wheel. I'm going to guess this is a free release flat. Hard to tell. Pretty sure this is that kind of like Y crossy air raid type vibe here. That's probably not the greatest drawing in the world. More like get over to this space. And then if it's not there, they got that 5-yard in. So however you read this front side, whether it's 1, 2, 3, whether it's alert, alert, 1, 2, either way, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's throwing it to the 5th guy. That's impressive. That is, I don't care, you know, if this is the 5th preseason game in your 8th year in the league. Smooth, clean, super easy. You know, could you make the argument that maybe he could throw this flat? Nah, maybe. Gets off it pretty early. Again, is that a check down? Is that in the progression? Who knows? Post wheel, crosser, 5-yard in. I love it. This screams vet. Smooth, precise, easy. Lovely. 2nd and 3. Again, one of those kind of like tweener plays for me. This is a big time completion. And it should have been a touchdown. So still working that crosser. It's just late. And it almost looks like he goes 1 to 2 to 3 to 2. What I mean by that, drawing it up down here. This one-on-one move down here at the bottom, whatever it is, you come up, you're trying to work this route, see if we can, whatever it is. I think they put him on a post here. And you get this crosser. There's all sorts of space. The ball needs to be thrown right around this secondary hash element. Then you usually paired with an in or a post curl on the backside, trying to find space back here. It looks like he goes 1 to 2 to 3, back to 2, almost on the sidelines, and it's not the throw that he wants, and it's probably fortunate that it's got the gain that they got because there's that much space out there. So again, you know, I struggle with saying without being in the exact room to say, yeah, for sure that's what it is, because to me, you know, what it times up footwork wise, back of the thing, post, no. Hitch up or reset right there, throw the over. Yes, it's open. Put it right on the bottom hash. He comes back to the backside in, no. And then it just takes so long. The ball's a little bit behind him. I mean, that should be a touchdown. So yes, it's a big conversion. And it's not as easy and clean as it should be. We're moving in the pocket. We're getting our feet twisted. I'd be upset if I was that wide receiver. So again, put it right between 27 and 3, right there. That's a big window. It's just a couple resets late. Again, heel clicky right there. Moving in the pocket for no reason. Late. Ball location's a little bit behind him. So just making things harder than they have to be. Guys that are wide open. Wide open. And then the last one here, this gets called back. It's 3rd and 4. It gets called back, pretty sure, because of some sort of penalty. I don't know what the penalty is. But this is really the difference for me as just an example of kind of the top tier guys versus some guys that maybe don't have the special playmaking ability. And this is just an example, so don't freak out and say, yeah, I know Justin Fields threw some picks in the grasp. I know that not every play was perfect for Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. And you see guys nowadays make these types of throws. He's trying to get it to the guy on the end. He's running parallel with him right here. Put a move in space right here. Nice. Little flick right there to the guy at the bottom of the A. With the little mailbox right there. I'm not saying that's an easy throw. It's not. But when we're talking processing, let's process that the whole game. So fortunate that they got some dudes that can hawk a cat. And this thing I'm pretty sure comes back. But it is what it is, right? When we're talking playmaking ability, what are the separators? What's the league evolving to? That's nice right there. Nice enough move, right? He's open. Find a way. Flick it to him. That's a shot that guy puts on him. Jeez. It's probably helmet to helmet. Now that I look at the hip on the quarterback more. But still, we've seen people make that play. I'm not saying it would be easy. I'm saying that's the difference for me, why he's not quite in that top tier. Again, another thing I really like about this scramble that guys are starting to learn to do, watch Mac Jones' head here. He peeks back. You see Aaron and Patrick Mahomes do this quite a bit, where they'll peek back to see if they can see somebody or feel somebody behind them. But right there, just a little bit quicker with footwork, sidestep, flick it to him, drive it right to the A. Touchdown. Just doesn't quite have that same explosiveness, same twitch, same arm. So that is a wrap. Mac Jones part 4. Let me know what you think. Processing guru, too quick, jumped over some things. What does the film say? Let me know if you think differently. I appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.